Hello everyone and welcome to the Wolfside channel. Today we have the topic small animals and insects. Because what is really missing in Mortal Online besides territorial control and some other important stuff? Insects and especially small animals like squirrels, rats, goose, whatever. And don't forget the weasels. I'm still waiting for the weasels in this game, Henrik. And don't forget the birds. I mean, we see some birds flying there. And we have these little small insects here, but they are only here, out in the wild, not in the Tinrum Garden. I mean, the Tinrum Garden is just perfect. It just looks awesome. It is wonderful. You have a huge amount of insects there. It feels a little bit more alive. What's really missing are birds on trees and maybe even birds on trees that you can shoot down and that make the noises in the jungle. For example, you have the jungle sound and there's always the same birds. It's the same repeated cycle of sounds and stuff like that. When it would be more dynamic that these are real animals that you can hear, real animals in a game, but you know what I mean. If the sound comes really from the bird on the tree and not from the sound file ambient volume in the background, so that if I go near this tree, then the sound of the bird is much louder than the rest sounds of the forest. And small little details like this give the game a huge immersion boost. And of course I did a little research on what marketplace products are out there for the Unreal Engine and stuff like that. And maybe something like even this, just a rat and a squirrel, for example, and Stowell can add easily, not easily, I guess it really needs a lot of coding and a lot of backend and networking stuff to get more animals there, and even animals that can interact with the trees and stuff like that. This is maybe a little bit too advanced, but for example, here's the other pack. Maybe some of these animals, I mean, just a snail somewhere, a small scorpion for Zaduka later, the rat, the salamander, or how this is called, the small lizard. Even some frogs would be nice and stuff like that. I mean, it's just the small things that add a huge value to just traveling and exploring the map. And if you encounter these small animals, it just feels more alive. The forest feels more alive if you're in a forest, for example, colored forest and stuff like that. Yeah, it looks good. Sometimes you meet a wolf there, but with small animals you have a huge, really huge immersion boost. Also with the fishes in the water, for example, but I guess this is also a very, very big task where they need a lot of time to get the fishes in the water really swimming around and then biting on your rod and stuff like that. And I guess this will not happen anytime soon. But maybe some fishes at some places, just an indication for here it's good to fish, or here are a lot of fishes and stuff like that. Also some snakes would be cool, that drop different kind of scales and stuff like that would be awesome. Or small animals like a goose. I mean, we have chickens that we still can't tame, by the way. Why we can only dominate chickens? Is there any particular reason for that? I guess no one knows. But I mean, we have still some other problems. For example, the bull horses are still missing, and the donkeys, and to breed the breeding system is missing, and to breed donkeys with horses to get mules and stuff like that is also missing. But for example, just look at this beautiful squirrel. It would be awesome if it would run around in Mortal. And maybe even that you can tame squirrels. Then you have a squirrel army of 5 squirrels that will follow you. Of course, this will take a huge load on the server. A huge load for, I don't know, 100,000 animals across Mirrorland that all need to be rendered, calculated and handled and whatever. And I guess implementing all of this is a big task, even when they are just small animals. I mean, in Zaduka, from Mortal Online 1, we had very big insects and stuff like that. And yeah, I love insects more or less. I have a ant farm, and I also have a cricket farm. So maybe an option where we can have crickets and stuff like that in the game would also be awesome. But this is just not my personal opinion. I mean, just this would be awesome with the insects and the small animals, just with the sound. With the sound alone from, for example, if you hear crickets somewhere, because now you can also hear crickets in Tinrum and there's no fucking grass anywhere where crickets could live and you don't see crickets. But it would be awesome if when you hear crickets, then somewhere crickets are nearby. And the same with the birds. You always hear the bird, but it would be better if you can see the birds. And if you come close to the bird, then the bird will get louder. And same with these little crickets here. They are now small, but later they will really grind on your gears. Then they will get very loud. And this, I call this terrarium, I call this Zaduka. Anyway, let's look what Henrik has to say about insects and small animals and stuff like that. What is his answer to that?
We're also working on additional cool system, like small critter system that will put small animals running, like a squirrel running up a tree. And you can shoot it down with an arrow and actually loot it. There may be, small animals like that you don't really fight against. You just stomp them or, hit them with an arrow to interact with them. But that means we have a new system that allows us to add crazy amount of those small critters without having any cost at all on the server. So it's a brilliant system, and we will add tons of that kind of experience, that adding life to the world, and I think that will help greatly as well. So it's a really cool little system, very smart done in a way to allow us not to compete in server costs and performance.
And this are awesome news. So we will get for Zaduka scorpions, snakes and stuff like that, and we will finally get squirrels, and I really hope we can get the weasels. I really miss my weasel from Mortal Online 1. And maybe also some rare animals would be awesome, with some rare materials that you really have to look for them and really want to hunt them down. For example, you're running around in the jungle and you really need to want to find something that only this small animal has, or something like that. For example, Oghmium multiplier or whatever, or a very good material for your handle grips for your weapons or stuff like that. That would be really awesome, and that would be very interesting, and would get more people out there and actually explore and do stuff. And what's very important with the small animal system is also the sound system needs to be overworked, that you have an idle sound for the forest, but an idle sound for the forest not in terms of birds or anything like that, that the sound comes really from the animals themselves and from the insects that are. For all in all, let me think. Let me know what you think about the small animal system, and what small animals do you want to see in Mortal Online. Then maybe we can make a big list and can give that to Starvolt, and yeah, the most people wanted these animals, or maybe even some rare stuff. Or maybe you are a 3D artist and can make your own small animals, maybe something like that. I don't know. So please let me know what you think. And also please like, subscribe as always, ring the bell, and special thanks to all the small animal lovers: Carmel, Professor O, Slum of Gaming, Rhonus, Paarthurnax, Cologne, Bulldog, you, and all the others, of course. So never forget to make your small animals party hard. See you all next time. Goodbye.